Today, I'm going to tell you about the time my grandfather left me a present to remember him by. Oh, did I mention that he was dead for 50 years when he did it? Like many children, I had a special bond with my grandfather. But the one thing I remember most about my grandfather was his glasses. He wore little round spectacles that were kind of trendy at the time back in the 60s. But that was the one thing about him that I remember the most. He died when I was only 4 years old of a massive heart attack. Fast forward 50 years later, I meet medium Pamela Theresa. She told me that I had somebody in spirit that was hanging around me all the time and knew she was talking about my grandfather. She went on to describe him physically, but most importantly, she described his glasses. Because that was something that stood out to me as a child was his glasses. So I always thought of him with his glasses. And because of that, the glasses were a very important connection to me and my grandfather. I was in the backyard with my dogs. Now, the previous day, the grass had been mowed. So, what grass there was in the backyard was freshly cut. And as we have two large dogs, they leave, nature behind. So, I was in the backyard picking up the dog poop. So, I was intentionally looking down at the ground so as not to step in it, but also to find the poop and to pick it up. And lo and behold, glinting in the sunlight, laying on top of the freshly cut grass, were a pair of glasses. Not just any glasses, they were exactly the type that my grandfather used to wear. They looked old, not a current style glasses. There is no way they could have survived the lawnmower the day before. So they must have appeared sometime after the grass was cut the previous day. But where'd they come from? I have a fenced in yard with a German Shepherd and a Doberman. I doubt very seriously somebody was trampling through my backyard and dropped their glasses. But the important thing is who they reminded me of. They looked like my grandfather's glasses. So I took the glasses to Pamela and I said, "You're not going to believe what I just found in the backyard." Now, keep in mind, Pamela Theresa is a true spiritual medium. She sees and hears the spirit world like you see and hear me right now. And she's been seeing my grandfather the whole time she's known me. So he's standing there next to us while I'm showing the glasses to Pamela. And I held them out and said, look at these. I found these in the backyard. She looked down at the glasses. She looked to her right and she looked at me. She's, "Who do you think they belong to?" Because my grandfather's standing there next to Pamela saying, "Wait for it." And ding, ding, ding. I said, "They look like my grandfather's." She goes, "Exactly. He left them for you. And by the way, that was him that you saw walk down the hall earlier." And I said, "Why would he do that?" And she said, "Just to let you know he's there and that he left you a present in the backyard."